Half a day and welcome to the Chamber Member Spotlight Podcast, where we feature one of our many small business members, the backbone of our island community. They provide much needed services and products, employ our residents, pay taxes, and give back to our community in a number of ways. We're so glad you joined us today. My name is Catherine Castro, your host for the Chamber Member Spotlight Podcast. We're excited to feature our member, Local Jerk Guam, LLC, represented today by Marvin Crisostomo, Chief Executive Officer. Half a day and welcome to the podcast, Marvin.
Half a day, everybody. Half a day, Catherine. Thank you for having us and our products at your podcast.
We're so excited, and we're absolutely, we really want to share your story with our members today. So, tell us, how did Local Jerk get started?
So, Local Jerk has evolved into many variations up to what it is today. Local Jerk is started from our Denancy roots, which is local vegetables, doni sali, and it actually started with our the family recipes, and then integrating it to the flavors that we like today, right? Mm-hmm. So when we first, Local Jerk, first of all, was never intended to be a business. It was something that we make for friends and family.
Right. That's so cool.
And then one of our daughters, our youngest daughter, had a college tour trip that the school wanted to go to. We decided to help by selling Denancy at all the night markets we could think about. Mm-hmm. And at the time, there was a Dzotnya night market, mm-hmm. there was the Mingilao night market, there was the Wednesday night market, and I think we've even tried, I remember trying the Dedido flea market just to get more money into the program for the college tour. And at the same time, we were bringing out our Denancy beef jerky. And these were flavors that were just testing the market. Well, now I consider it testing the market. Uh-huh. But at the time, it was just flavors that we knew we liked. So we had Denancy and beef jerky selling. And some of the local mom and pop stores, like Uggan Store and 202, had approached us. Mm-hmm. And we had to figure out if we were going to do this as a business or was this just for the fundraiser event. So that lapsed, and we continued doing our day-to-day lives. We went to work. Mm-hmm. My wife had a full-time job. I had a full-time job. Mm-hmm. And customers kept calling, customers kept calling until we decided to make a new batch. Mm-hmm. It was only then when we realized we might need to get a business license. And along with that is when we started to learn there needed to be a sanitary permit, a facility. Mm-hmm. So it was one of those learning curves where, are we going to do this or are we not going to do it? And I'm glad that my wife and I decided it's something that we should pursue. Mm-hmm. And we did that. We pursued it with the GUMA program that we were introduced to us by a friend of ours, Ton and Nick Sayama. Mm-hmm. And it just, every year, the brand has just evolved into mm-hmm. so many different flavors. I mean, we've got our traditional Denancy Bagong. We have a vegan and vegetarian Denancy grinds, which is just pepper, onions, garlic, and lemon. And then we have a tuba finadeni. And then we have our 3 jams, which is Denancy mango, coconut, and strawberry.
Wow.
Yeah, which is leading to the apparel. So
wow.
It's always exciting to see what else is coming up. Mm-hmm.
So, I have a great story. When I go off island, mm-hmm. I go at least once a year. And when I asked my friends, what would you like from Guam? You need to bring that Denancy that you brought the last time.
Thank you.
It's so, it's really funny. So every year I go and I'll always make sure, I'm like, they have a new flavor. Like,
Yes.
which one do you want, right? And so, so this past year, when I went there, I got them 2 different kinds of flavors. And we visited the congressman's office. But I knew a congressman's office didn't have like local people, so I didn't bring the Denancy. And I guess someone else did.
Okay.
So one of the staff members says, "Did you bring this? Did you bring this cool paste?" And I'm like, "Do you like that? Do you like the spicy stuff like that?" And he goes, "Oh my gosh, it's so good."
Thank you. And
I'm just like, "Oh, if I knew, next time I'll make sure that I'll bring you some."
Thank you.
So it was like this really nice young man, and he's from the States, not and I didn't realize that they would really go for it, but they did.
That's truly 2 things that are happening for us with the stories like that is it encourages us and solidifies the hard work that my family and our staff do, right? And then it just tells us, keep striving, and it's not something that we're going to stray away from. Like I said, every year it's figuring out how to evolve, whether it's locally or nationally or internationally. That's a lot of it's the end goal is to be national and international.
Of course.
But we try to be as flexible and especially as far as flavors, because Guam is a huge melting pot of all cultures and diversities, right? So,
right.
And that's why the Denancy Bagoong plays a role in our sales. It sells almost just as well.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That is so cool. So, do you find that your sales increases at certain times of the year, like?
Definitely. Like we call them seasons for Denancy. It's of course Christmas, summer, and Tomorrow Month.
I love it.
And Tomorrow Month is it's celebrated by all the families on Guam and off island. So it doesn't matter wherever you are in the world, as long as we can share our flavors with you. I'm sure we have a flavor for somebody in your family, at least for everyone in your family, at least. And then Christmas, of course, the gift of giving. And then the summertime when people come home, families come home and they visit and then they leave, it's one of those things where we hope they go to one of our mom and pop stores or Payless or Cost You Less and pick up a jar of our products. We're also at the DFS and the Navy Exchange.
Excellent.
So,
and then do you find, how they have these really cool Chamorro festivals in the States, right? Are you there? Do you have presence there?
Well, let me, so as far as those events, right now there's a Chelu Fest going on right now.
Yeah.
And some
In
of our yes, in Oceanside.
Oh, okay.
So some of our really good friends in the business market, and we're talking about Guam Peeps, the Local Shop, Frank the Crank, Songi, and my guy. They're all out there, and of course we're not there personally, but our products are with the Local Shop. Yes.
Awesome. I love it.
So
we
we
bring
try
a
to
taste of home.
Yes.
To our family and friends in the continent. That is so cool. So, what do you? I mean, you said that you went through the GUMA program,
Yes.
right? Talk to us about that experience, because I love the GUMA program. I love what they do, how they help our small businesses.
Yes. We had no knowledge of the GUMA program at all. It was an invitation by chance, from Tonseyama, and we just showed up, and they were just like, "Sure, welcome, come on in, sign in," and it's every Saturday for 16 weeks. Now I know it sounds long, and I know it sounds a lot, but as soon as you start to get in the program, you're gonna feel like you're not having enough time. because there's so much to learn. If you're not doing it already, then there's just a whole array of people that come and speak to you, from the banks, from the writers for businesses, insurance companies, the specialists like Monica and Lorraine, Cliff, and so these guys, they just walk you through it, and it's almost like you're so, it just makes it so seamless, as long as you're passionate about the products you're there for. I mean, you can make jewelry, you can make Denancy, you can make whatever it is that you're passionate about. It's something that you'll stick with. Now, the GUMA program is there to help you either write your business plan or get you through the whole 16 weeks and then decide if business is really what you want to do or not. Most of the people that I know that have finished the 16-week program have started their business or already had a business. The great thing about the GUMA program is it's not just the program itself. It's the business owners that are in the program. They become a whole network for you. And you can call on anybody that's doing something that you might want to get into in later on down the line, or are already into now. And the great thing is that we all help each other. Yeah, so that's the beautiful thing with the GUMA program. And then there's grants. At the end of the program, there's a grant that you could apply for, and it's a board, but technically, I mean, it's called the Shark Tank, but the people that are there to help you start your business and keep it sustainable. So for us, one of the questions that got my wheels going was when we were going through the Shark Tank was, what would happen if there was a typhoon? How would you continue your business? Which really makes you think about your contingencies. And for us, it was because we rely heavily on local farmers and our local farm. Well, a typhoon happened, and it was plans that we had prior that we put in place, and we followed it to almost the T, and we continued to serve our local products. As soon as we got water and sanitized our facility, we got back in the kitchen, and we were able to go back and making Denancy and beef jerky. But the typhoon wasn't something that, I mean, it worried us because of how do we continue getting produce. But again, the other islands were bringing in. It was coming in from Tinian, Rhoda, Saipan, and of course at the times those prices go up, right? So, but it's not one of those things we go to the farmers and say, hey, we got to get it at this price. A lot of the farmers we deal with, they tell us the price, and that's what we got. And that's how we go with it. We don't tell them that we can't pay it or we can't. That's not the price we can get it at. A lot of farmers are also trying to survive, and we know that because we're farmers too. So it's not a haggling process for us, but of course it's reasonable.
Right. Yeah. So I mean, you talked about what would happen just in case of a typhoon, and you put your contingency plans together. But what is like a challenge, like a really a challenge for you as a small business here in Guam?
One of the, and my wife and I, we talk about it a lot, was employees. We've had numerous employees come in for the interview. We've called them. Some cancel, some don't. Some don't even show up. We've had an employee. We've processed everything. Oh man! And then first day they didn't show. And so it's always the manpower. And I think we agree that it's everywhere. But once you get them, and you get the people that are as passionate as you, making the products and protecting your brand, man, they're just, it's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What advice would you give to somebody who wants to start their own business?
You know, it's a great question. The GUMA program.
Yeah.
Everybody that comes to us and says, "Oh man, I'm not sure if I want to do this, if or I'm afraid to start my own. I'm afraid to leave my 8 to 5 or 9, whatever it is, whatever job they have, to go start something that they're passionate about." I tell them all the time, you got to be passionate, and I can give you the number to Cliff and Monica Guzman.
Yes.
Or the GUMA program, and I highly suggest they attend these programs. It's not one of those things where you get rich overnight, but well, I think as far as learning everything you need to do to move on to start the business, it's an invaluable education. Especially, I know the 16 weeks every Saturday sounds a lot, but it's so easy when you're doing it with people that have the passion to show you how to get there. And that's what I think is key for anybody who wants to start a business. I mean, sure, you can go to the SBDC over at the UOG, but the GUMA program works with them as well.
Of course, yeah.
They work with the GITA, the GITA agencies. They work with every agency that the small business could touch or need. They would have somebody they could call, and that's the beautiful thing about the network that the GUMA program has created.
Right. I think what's really great too about the GUMA program is that you can, if you're interested in something and you go through the program and then you realize, you know what, I'm not that passionate about it, or I'm not, maybe this is not for me. But at least you have gone through the educational part of it and understand what it would take to start a small business and the types of resources that you would need, the type of commitment that you would need, all of the things. And that's what's great about this program is that, sometimes you have a passion for something, right? And then you don't realize, oh my gosh, and you want to start a business, right? But do you know how to, do your books?
Right.
Do you know how to market your product, right? What about all the taxes that you have to pay for? And so some of the things as a when it's a passion something, right? So sometimes you don't realize that there's all of these things that are involved in starting a business and what it takes, and how do you price your product?
Right.
Right.
And those are that's part of that.
Exactly.
Those Saturday mornings, right?
Yes.
It sounds a lot like I said, but it is not. You're almost going to be like, I want to ask more. There's a lot of out of the classroom instruction or questions, and that's what the beautiful thing is. We can call each other and say, "Oh, I just did that. This is how you should go about doing this."
Love it. Yeah.
So the networking is invaluable as well, right?
Yes, for sure.
So and you asked what the challenges are was not just looking for employees, but also the supply and demand, right? The supply that's out there right now, we're looking at, we don't make coconut milk anymore. Well, we don't make it by hand. We order it, and these shipments come in sporadically, or whenever they leave a port, they say, 1 week from now, and then you're waiting a whole month, right? It could get anywhere from that. So you just gotta be able to pivot to figure out, okay, what can I do to suffice what's not here already, right? And the beautiful thing is, if it's a passion of yours, you'll always figure it out a way.
Exactly. I love it. I think that, obviously the GUMA program has been such a blessing for small businesses on our island, and you're a product and the success of this program. So I'm so thrilled with it. And so one of the things I wanted to ask you, right? Somebody had asked me too was, when we were growing up, it was like, well, we used that for Tootsie, right?
Right.
You,
Definitely.
So what are some of your favorite dishes, right? Like that you would say, like what would you pair? Like how would you pair
So
it with food and things like that?
It's truly our products are very versatile. You can use our products, our Denancies in marinades, or in, of course, the kaddu or soup, right? I mean, if you want to make a quick karampika, instead of mixing everything all up, you can make your stafao, right?
Yeah.
Your base with some coconut milk, and then just add Denancy, and it already has all the vegetables you need. It has the onions, the wing beans, the long beans, the garlic. Everything's in there for you. You just add it to your stafao, and now you got karampika.
Yeah.
Or I mean, the grinds is great with a dipping sauce as well, but it's easy to use. It's so versatile to use as a pickling agent. Right? You can add it to your pickles and make it even spicier. Of course, the tuba finadeni is the fresh chicken, the tataga. And the bagoong was a surprise for us. We didn't know how well it would sell, and we took it to the Mango Fest, and I believe we had somewhere around 15 cases that year, and we went home with nothing. 2.5 days of bagoong sales and Denancy sales, of course.
Yeah.
And but again, that just tells you what bagoong's great with is mango, a lot of citrus fruits, or again, it just depends on the flavor. The Denancy, the traditional Denancy is crab, and the bagoong is shrimp. So it depends on what flavor you want.
Right.
And then, of course, the jams. The coconut jam is something we're doing only for tomorrow month. The mango and strawberry are staples that we're keeping. And they're great with either a cream cheese and a cracker. I like to make candied bacon.
Oh, cool.
And it's just swiping it on the bacon halfway done and then just throw it back on the grill, or pork bellies.
Yep.
It's definitely a treat. But also the Denancy beef jerkies that we make. Again, it's so versatile, right? You can use it for marinating your meats, and that's what we do to make the beef jerky. There's just so many different ways. Strictly barbecue, or dipping, or totsi, or adding it to your soups, or curries, whichever one you prefer. You just add different heats and different flavors.
Fantastic. I love it. And it says that it's a veteran-owned company. Are you the veteran?
Yes, I am the veteran. I'm very proud of our men and women in the armed services, and very honored to be a part of the 1%ers.
Well, man, thank you very much for your service. I mean, I tell you, we're very proud of our local servicemen and women.
Yes.
And so my last question is, how has the chamber membership benefited your company?
So, man, it's one of those things we had to figure out on our own. We talked to a lot of your staff, and we looked it up a lot. We looked up a lot of perks and the benefits of it. And one of them is not only do we get to be part of the organization of the business community that we were trying to be a part of it, which is the beautiful thing. But also, I mean, as a small business, to try and help get insurance for your staff. We don't fit the bill of the huge corporations of 10 or 15 employees. We're a very small operation. So the chamber head, they have insurances where it helps the small businesses from 2 to 3 even. And the beautiful thing, like I mentioned earlier, was we went with Select Care, and they were very willing to help and carve out a way where we could still insure ourselves and our staff, which is always something that we always are grateful for. So, and I mean, simple stuff like, I mean, it looks simple, sounds simple, but it's as easy as, showing up to the membership breakfasts or the meetings, and just looking around the room and just think, hey, I just saw them going through the GUMA program, or hey, you know, and again, it's another one of those invaluable networks that the chamber provides, right? So
for sure,
it's just it's always been an amazing, it's been an amazing ride. It's still an amazing ride. And for our business from Local Jerk, my wife and I, it's always, there's always something that we want to try to do, and there's always a learning curve, but you just got to stay passionate about what you do.
Exactly. And we're just so proud of you, you know.
Thank you.
And you know, I would love to sit here and talk and learn so much more. I mean, it's been so educational. It's been exciting to learn about your company, and such a pleasure, Marvin. Thank you so much.
Thank you. We
truly appreciate your insights and, you know, what it takes to run and operate your small business here in Guam. And we encourage our residents to support our small businesses like Local Jerk Guam that make a big difference in our community. Thanks again, Marvin.
Thank you.
I'd like to thank our listeners for tuning in and listening to today's show. We encourage you to drop us a note to share your comments on this podcast or visit our website or social media platforms. We truly appreciate your feedback. We look forward to having you back on the Chamber Member Spotlight podcast again soon. And if you haven't already heard it, we have another podcast called the Chamber Biz Box, which features issues and challenges that face our business community. And they are currently available on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts, so give them a listen. This is your host, Catherine Castro. Until next time, take good care and make it a great day, Guam.